Talkback coming up in just a couple of minutes. Asking you this morning, is a home loan price war looming?
Will low housing loan interest rates negate the recent attempts to cool a red-hot property market? Give us a call, 669-11938. Are you about to call your bank and change the terms of your housing loan?
I want to change now. I'm going to jump ship.
Give us a call. Let us know. We'll also be talking with Dennis Ng, who is the founder of HousingLoanSG.com. Talkback kicks off in a couple of minutes.
And I also envisage all these relationship managers having lots of headaches.
At the banks, yeah?
Yeah.
938 Live. 938 Live. Gets you talking.
A foreigner, if they want to invest in Singapore, they can still get a 70% financing on their property. So comparatively among three countries, Hong Kong, China, and Singapore, Singapore stands as the most attractive in terms of property investment for a foreigner. So as a result, I actually expect in the next 6 to 12 months, there will be a flush of money coming into Singapore. Possibly from part of them from Hong Kong and China, people who have made a lot of money from properties there, and also from this flood of liquidity we expect from the QE2 by US. So in actual fact, I probably see that the high-end property market for Singapore property will continue rising because of this type of liquidity flowing into Singapore.
By QE2, of course, you mean the quantitative easing, the second round of quantitative easing by the United States.
So prices expected to go up again.
And hot money flowing into Singapore.
Not so hot for some people who are attempting to buy a property. Yeah? Give us a call, 669-11938.
Francis, good morning.
Good morning, Keith and Bharati. Interesting topic now. If I read the lines clearly, you're trying to draw, you put a status quo there where the rich can afford to buy more. And as the advisor just mentioned, there's an influx of extra cash coming from China and Hong Kong, rich people. Now, how about the Singaporeans who are trying their best to go into the private property market, go into, a neighborhood condo? They will find that they have been pushed aside for the rich foreigners. So are these measures meant to assist Singaporeans or bringing rich foreigners in? Because I feel second class now. My advisor telling me that I'm feeling very second class in my own country. So please, we have to look into the system before even embarking on implementing it. Thank you.
Thanks very much for that, Francis. Perhaps, Dennis, you could respond to that. A lot of people, genuine home buyers who need a roof over their heads, feeling a little left out of all of this hot money.
Yeah, so there's no one single policy that can make everyone happy. So recently the government, what they try to do is they want to take care of those population that can afford to buy the HDB resale flat. So in actual fact, the latest measure, what they are going to do is they are going to actually, in a way, cool down HDB resale flat prices, and hopefully that will come down. And with them deciding to build 22,000 HDB flats in the next year. So that will more or less take care of the 80% of the population, since 80% of the population actually stays in HDB flats. But who will be affected? I think rightly pointed out by the listeners. Who will be affected will be the middle-class Singaporeans, some of those who want to now try to invest in properties. And because now the financing for investment property has been lowered from 80% financing to 70% financing. And if you are buying a 1 million property, it means that you need to have an extra $100,000. So some of these people are now left on the sideline again because they don't have this enough cash to make the additional 10% down payment. So in a way, those who are really affected are probably the middle-class Singaporeans who try to, after buying a house, try to move into property investing. And probably now they are this plan has to be delayed.
Right, okay. Give us a call, 669-11938. What are your plans when it comes to buying property? We'd really like to know. It seems that because of greater demand, even those really low interest rates might not have too much of an impact on a person's willingness to buy property at this time. Yeah, it's so expensive anyway. Give us a call, 669-11938.
Talk back with Bharati Jagdish and Keith D'Souza on 938 Live.
Will low housing loan interest rates negate the recent attempts to cool a red-hot property market? What do you expect to do next when it comes to property? Give us a call, 669-11938. Also joining us this morning is Dennis Ng, founder of HousingLoanSG.com.
Well, we're taking your phone calls first, and let's speak with Rabika. I hope I have your name right. Rabika, good morning.
Yeah, perfect, Keith. Hi, Bharti. Hi, Keith.
Hi.
I'm calling in response to one of our listeners who had responded that rich foreigners are grabbing the market. But Singaporeans do have an advantage as far as the low interest rate is concerned. And yes, we Singaporeans do have an advantage of buying ECs. One suggestion is that the income cap for buying ECs can be relaxed, which enables Singaporeans who are slightly richer can buy ECs. And that's all I have to say about the global Singapore.
Thank you very much for that, Radhika. Really appreciate your viewpoint today. Let's put this to Dennis. Dennis, what do you think?
Yeah, I think probably she has a point as well, because now most of the condos is at least about 1 million and above. And so there are middle-class Singaporeans with household income of between 10,000 to 12,000, and these people are actually sidelined from buying the ECs because the maximum household income, household income threshold is $10,000. So probably I think what can be done probably is to raise the income ceiling to 12,000 per month, household income ceilings for those who can qualify to buy ECs, as she has suggested.
669-11938 is our number. Joined now by Felicia. Felicia, good morning.
Good morning, Keith and Bharati. Now, we watched dolefully as the home loan interest rate fluctuate over the years. Do you remember in 2006 and 2007, home loan interest rate rose as high as the rental rate, and rate hikes were seen every quarter. Hence, I think the apparent drop in home loan rates this year signal a great time to upgrade your housing type, as banks throw in free gifts, fire insurance, legal fees, and etc. So my question is, do you feel we should adopt a longer lock-in period to ride the wind effortlessly? Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks very much for that, Felicia. Dennis?
Yeah, so if she's concerned about the interest rate moving upwards, she can probably lock it into fixed rate for 3 years or for 5 years. Currently, the fixed rate 3 years and 5 years, the interest rate is slightly below 2%. So in actual fact, it's a very low rate to pay, because back in 2007, interest rate on housing loans was between 4% to 5%. So I really suggest that any person buying any property currently, when calculating your money installment affordability, you should use a higher interest rate of 4% to calculate, and do not use the current low interest rate of below 2% to calculate, because that may give you a false security, because when interest rate moves up, then you might find that yourself having to fork out probably a few hundreds or even thousands more in terms of money installments. So please use a higher interest rate, 4% to calculate your affordability.
Right. So extremely prudent advice there. Do plan it really well. Now, Dennis, could it go even lower?
It might go slightly lower. I don't think there's much room for it to fall any further, because the benchmark interest rate, which is the SIBOR, Singapore Interbank Offered Rate, currently is at 0.4+%. So it's actually the lowest level in history, because the last time it went below 1% was about 0.68% back in 2004. So now it's really historical low for SIBOR. I don't think there's much room for it to fall further. But what may happen is, because as U.S. Going to print money second round in the quantitative easing too. So what will happen is, because of all this liquidity flushing into Singapore banking system, it will keep interest rate very low. So I also do not see SIBOR going up in the next 6 to 12 months because of this liquidity that's going to flow into Asia.